Hey everybody, it's Missy with the Hip Kit Club. Thanks for joining me today. This is my first layout uploaded to the Hip Kit Club YouTube channel, so welcome if you are new to the Hip Kit channel. And I'm also going to have this on my own personal channel as well. And my theme for today is fussy cutting and layering, and I'm using the 2018 April kits. And I have got my eye on all these flowers. Those puffy stickers, I've been wanting to use those, and I've been wanting to use the flowers on this crepe paper here, and I just haven't yet. This is I think my fifth layout using these kits, and I have yet to use these pretty flowers. And so, as per the rule of fussy cutting for this theme today, I'm going to do some fussy cutting with these flowers. I'm not going to cut all of them out. I'm just going to cut out a couple and then some of the leaves also, and I'm going to mix and match these with those really pretty exclusive bright colored floral puffy stickers. I just knew that I felt the need to create a tropical page, and so I've got some pool pictures here, very bright, very blue and green. So I decided to go with a pink background just to kind of contrast the photos instead of white. I thought I'd try something different. So this is from the cardstock kit, and it's a really pretty soft pink. It's called Pinkini, I think. And I'm just smudging down some white gesso, pretty much down the center, kind of in a vertical, messy fashion there. I'm using my palette knife and my fingers just to kind of smudge it down. And then I'm going to go crazy with the pinks and the yellow Distress Oxide here. And I'm just smudging it down dry with an ink blending tool. And the pink is the Picked Raspberry. We got that in a color kit a couple months ago. The yellow is from this month, and it is called Squeeze Lemonade. And this color is a deeper pink, and it's from my stash. It's called Seedless Preserves. And watch how these react when you add water to them. They just start to smudge and blend so beautifully, and it almost like the water kind of pulls the color off the page and makes it puddle up and makes it kind of run and blend into the next color. And that's kind of the look that I was going to go for. I spend quite a bit of time on this background trying to get it just like I want it. And the good thing about these Distress Oxides, you can see there how it kind of bleached the color up and caused it to kind of run. That's just going to allow you to add even more color on top of it. And you can see how that's going to contrast nicely with all the blues and greens in those pictures. This coral color also came in this month's color kit, and that's called Abandoned Coral. And I'm just going to continue to add all these different colors and then take my brush with a little bit of water and then just kind of add the water and kind of brush it around and let the colors just kind of run and pool together to create a really watercolor-ish background. And this just, you know, you can't do too much. I feel like I could just do this all day and just keep adding the color and adding the water. And the gesso is being a huge help for this. If you've never used gesso and you want to do a technique like this, it helps tremendously because it's going to toughen up your cardstock, and it's going to be able to withstand all this water that I'm adding. And you can see it's not soaking right through the paper. It's allowing the water to sit on top of the paper and kind of run and blend. If you don't use gesso, it's gonna more than likely just soak right through the paper, and it's gonna stay there. It's not gonna blend and run together like this. So the gesso is definitely a big factor in this technique, I think. Now I'm using a little bit of shimmers. This is called Shimmers Spritz, and it's in Ruby. We got that in a color kit several months ago as well, just a different shade of pink. Heidi Swap Gold Color Shine, just because I thought this would look really pretty, and you'll be able to see this when it's dry. I'm going to hold it up to the light. But we got the Gold Color Shine in a color kit, gosh, a couple years ago, and it's almost empty. And I'm so sad because they're discontinuing it. Why? Worst decision ever. Anyway, I decided to bring in a little bit of orange, and this is the Spiced Marmalade. That also came in a color kit. I highly suggest the color kits if you do not get them and you do like using mixed media, because my desk is full of color kits from Hip Kit over the past few years, and I use this stuff all the time. The colors work from month to month, and before you know it, if you order it each month, then you've got yourself quite the arsenal of colors and different styles of color. You've got ink pads, you've got sprays, you've got texture paste, you've got art crayons, watercolors, you name it. And yeah, they just work so well. Okay, here you can see the shiny gold that I added. So, so pretty. And I love how that looks. And you see that that's really not that hard to do. It looks intimidating and it looks very complicated. It just takes time and patience and gesso. So yeah, get yourself some gesso if you want to try this, and just add the color, add some water, and watch it flow, because it is magical to watch. So here I'm going to start to arrange everything. I think I'm going to do my photos in a vertical mismatched design like you see there, and then I'm going to start to work with these flowers, and this is going to be very bright and very tropical, and I love the pops of orange in the flowers, and then that deep reddish orange color kind of blended with those pink fussy cut flowers. Even they're all totally different kind of flowers, I don't really care. I just love the colors, and I love flowers clustered together. And so part of my theme for today is layering, and so I'm going to get a lot of layering in. So I'm going to add in a little bit more or some pops of color and texture, and I do that with adding thread. This is just regular sewing thread that I get from Walmart, and I just kind of loop it together and layer it under everything, just so it kind of peeks out in this messy little loop. And then I decided I wasn't done with the background. I wanted to add in more of that deep corally red color, so I pulled out another shimmers from another color kit, Mango Tango, and just adding a little bit of that with my brush. I really love using different shades. Like you can, how many pinks? I think I've used what, 4 or 5 different shades of red or pink, and it just creates depth and dimension, and it just makes your layout less flat when you use different colors and different shades, and then you add layering on top of that. It just makes everything just sort of pop off the page. So here I am using some of the packaging. This was in, if you remember the white scripty puffy alpha stickers, that was the packaging. So I'm going to use that as a layer, and I also used the remainder of one of the 4x6 Project Life cards. I used the other pieces that I tore off of that on my NSD layout. And also I'm going to use a couple of these pebbles, dimensional. There's adhesive foam in between these flowers, and they match perfectly. I love how they look. And then I'm going to start to glue things down. I didn't want to move everything because I knew I would never get it back just like I have it. So very carefully I'm going to start to just lift things up and squeeze a little bit of glue in there. And I'm using the Scotch Tacky Glue. It used to be the Scotch Quick Dry, but they changed the name. And I get that at Michael's, and it has worked for years in that same bottle. I've never had any problems with it clogging, but I don't leave the lid off for very long. I always put the lid on pretty quickly when I'm finished using it, to keep it from drying out, because it does dry out pretty quickly. But more fussy cutting. This is one of the Project Life cards. I'm going to fussy cut out this really pretty floral cluster because it's just too pretty not to, and it matches too perfectly to not use it. So I'm going to cut that out and then layer that in right there. I think I could make pool layouts for the rest of eternity and be perfectly happy. This is my all-time favorite type of layout to make. Bright colors, sunshine, flowers, pinks, yellows, and blues, flowers. So, so good. I love it. I'm going to use up a lot of the sticker sheet. I'm going to use up some of the little dots. They look like enamel dots, but they're puffy dots. And then that little green piece at the top says memories, I think. And there are pops of that bright green in the leaves, and so I thought that I would pull some of that green into that part of the page. And then for my title, I'm going to go very simple. It's just going to be Sunny Days, and these are exclusive alphas. They're so gorgeous. They're ombre from yellow to soft pink, and they're just so pretty. And there's 2 sizes. There's this alpha, and then there's a larger size. Now, what I'm going to do to kind of make it stand out a little bit more, because the pink is really soft, is I'm going to color it, and I'm going to use the Distress Oxide and just take my ink blending tool and lightly smudge over the light pink to make it darker. Super easy. Love how that looks. And just use my finger to kind of blend and smudge it. So that's where the title's going to go, because if I look at the page, I thought, where else would I put a title? I didn't want to put it on the side because the design is a more of a vertical design. So I just thought I'll stick a short, sweet title under there, and that would work fine. I added more gold. Surprise, surprise. Can't have too much gold. So there you can see. I love how that turned out. You could do that with any thickers, really. Again, something else to do with the Distress Oxides. Then I decided I wanted to jazz up the sides just a little bit. I don't know, I've been obsessed with doing this whole side thing lately on my layouts, where I cut out a little wonky portion and then back it with a pattern paper or another sheet of paper. And I'm going to do that again today. I just love the pop of color that it gives, and it just gives something else to look at over on the sides, and it kind of breaks up all the pink. I'm going to use more of that packaging over on the left side, and then I wanted to use this yellow paper, but then it was just too yellow, and so I do something that's probably going to make someone gasp. I'm going to cut into this 12 by 12 paper just for this piece right here. I know I do have 2 sheets of it. I really wanted to use that as a background for something. I just could not come up with an idea yet, and so I like the orangey color better right there. And I know that hurts to just cut into a big piece of paper for one little piece, but sometimes you just do it. Now I'm going to dismantle some of these Pebbles stickers here and just use the top piece to add a couple of little side clusters there with flowers. And then I'm going to add some thread underneath those. I'm going to add some blues, 2 different blue threads mixed together to add a pop of blue over to the left, because there's really a lot of blue already in the pictures. And so I felt like I didn't need any blue on the background. I didn't need any blue flowers. Basically no more blue, because there is so much blue. And that's something that, one of my go-to things when I'm thinking about color is, what kind of pictures am I using? If I'm not using black and white and I'm using color pictures, if there's so much blue, then really I don't need anything else blue. I kind of want to contrast everything else around it. I decided to go with some green thread up right there underneath that little blue flower, because I didn't really have a lot of that green, and I had enough pink and enough blue. And I think I'm getting close to being done. I did glue down the Sunny Days letters because of the gesso. Things don't like to stick to gesso. And then I'm going to use my gold metallic pen to write some journaling, and then I do add the date. And that is it. I love how this turned out. Like I said, this is my favorite type of layout to make. It makes me so happy. The colors, the memories of being in the pool. I love it. Love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was so much fun to make. And make sure you visit the forum and see what everybody else is uploading. And let me know if you have any questions about the kits or the techniques or anything at all. I'll be more than happy to answer. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.